Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And this is going to be a video that's not really anything we've done before because we are going to look in the rearview mirror a little bit and take a look back at some of our 2020 draft prospect evaluations. So guys who were just finishing up or are just finishing up their rookie seasons, what we thought of them coming out of college, where we had them graded, who we were right about, who we were not right about, and people we were kind of, sort of in the ballpark, but not really on. So this is going to be an interesting video. I mean, we haven't done anything like this before, but we'll just see where it takes us. Should be a fun discussion.
We all got our notebooks. This is going to be, a somewhat informal thing here. We're just going to kind of doing this for ourselves, but also for your entertainment as well. So we're going to look through our books live. We've all took a little peek, but we haven't made up too much of our minds yet. So you're going to see us scrolling through some stuff. So with that being said, let's start looking through the notebooks. Who wants to? Anybody got some thoughts they want to share first?
Yeah, you're going to hear a lot of paper moving probably on
Yeah.
this mic. So just get used to it. But, I mean, there's a couple of things that I'm really looking for here. Oh, I actually found one right here. Salvin Ahmed, who was one of them. I had going as a fourth rounder. Where did he end up going? I don't know. But he's played better than a fourth rounder, so that's an interesting one. I'm just scrolling through here and trying to find some interesting ones. Honestly, I didn't even know.
You went to Washington State, correct? Ahmed?
Washington.
Oh, Washington.
But didn't Gaskin go to Washington too?
Gaskin, yes, he did.
Okay.
I think they both went to the same
Yeah.
place.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have much bad on Ahmed. I said had an injury and he could be more aggressive, but I didn't write a crazy amount on him. This one is flipped to him. Something I want to talk about, and I think it's important to talk about, the two rookies of the year I think we definitely need to bring up. So Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert, the two top guys for that. We'll bring up some other guys as well. Those are the main ones we need to talk about because those are the two guys in contention. And so with Justin Jefferson, I really didn't have much bad about him. I really liked him. Because he was a slot receiver a lot at LSU, I had my doubts about his the routes that he could run. I didn't know how many routes he could run. My exact words. In fact, my exact words were can't run all routes. And I still feel like it's kind of true because a lot of stuff you see are slants and like post or not post. Oh, you can run post, but stuff towards the sideline. You see him make all these good catches. I feel like he's definitely advanced his route running tree. So I'd say I was a bit wrong on that. Of course, he was in the slot at LSU, and they really liked those RPOs with Joe Burrow on that team. So you saw him running that slant a lot. But he's definitely improved his route tree this year.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of the same things about Jefferson. Tremendous catch radius, good job of getting open in the middle of the field, able to win those physical one-on-one matchups when he needs to. The athleticism, hip movement, all those are good. Just some of the things I have down. I had him as my third-ranked rookie receiver, which realistically probably very well could have been the best. But I mean, honestly, with the rookie
receivers,
all
said and done, I think Judy can do some better stuff. It's been a tough year in Denver, and CeeDee Lamb had but a not very talked about pretty good year in a whole group of wide receivers.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, the rookie receiver class did so ridiculously good that like almost any of these guys that we flipped to in the receiver section, probably did a pretty good job, and Jefferson's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I had Jefferson as 3 as well. I mentioned many of the same things you guys did. I had him as a first rounder, right around where he went in the draft, behind Lamb and Judy. So same.
Should have gone a few picks earlier though. We all agree on that. To the Eagles.
Jefferson? Oh yeah, the
Eagles could have definitely got him.
I'll never forget. The Eagles were on the clock and they literally showed on on the TV Jefferson on the phone. And we're like, yeah, he's going to the Eagles. And then we hear Jalen Rager, and we're like, what? But the Eagles just doing Eagles things.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I got another one to talk about if you don't mind me jumping in.
Yeah, I mean, we can just go through them quickly because there's a lot of players here that we can look through, so you kind of just say that rather than talking about the same player.
I wanted to talk about Tua real quick because when he first started, he was doing some good stuff. Then you saw some bad tendencies. So I'll read off the cons that I had for Tua. Said sometimes doesn't see defenders. I feel like he did that a bit this year. Put some balls behind receivers. I didn't see that as much. He definitely floats passes, which in the NFL can be a bad thing.
I had the same thing. He had a tendency to overthrow the ball.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes he could try to do too much. All young quarterbacks do that. But I feel like watching Tua this year, I didn't watch too much film on him on the Dolphins quite yet this year. But I feel like some mistakes that he made, he didn't see defenders, like I said. He still got a lot of room to grow. He was just thrown in there this year, and it's his first year in the system. I think he's going to do some good things. He had not the greatest year by my standards, but I like what he can bring to the table. I think he's looking up for the future, and a few things changed for Tua, recognizing the defenses in the NFL more. Because I got to go back to it. At Alabama, they have such a good system there. So, the offenses you're going to be running in the NFL, they might not even be as good as that college football system they're working with there in Alabama. So just a bit of adjustment. I think he'll have a leap in his second year.
Yeah, I mean, one of the cons I had for Tua in my draft notes was being spoiled, and I think that was basically the point Jordan just made.
All Alabama quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's not completely his fault, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they recruit well.
I don't think we realized how spoiled he was because we saw
Devontae Smith win the Heisman. Yeah,
Jalen Waddle, of course, he had the injury, but he was still doing some good things. And
the injury was this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah,
but he was still.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and then to go along with that, I mean, we're talking about Justin Herbert now, comparing those two guys because I had Tua ahead of Herbert. Yes, I did. I knew that, but I was just looking at my offensive position rankings just to make sure. I'm going in the draft, and there's still plenty of time, but right now Justin Herbert has clearly been the front runner in that. So right now I was wrong about that, but I think I had them eerily similar to each other. I give them percentages, and I had them both at 98%. It's kind of like a Madden ranking for what I was doing. But close still, but Herbert seemed to be the better one.
Yeah, and I had Herbert ahead of Tua, so I gotta pride myself a little there. Again, these guys are rookies. It's still early. It's like even with Dolphins fans, I'm just hearing this stuff out like, oh, we gotta move on from Tua or get rid of him. Like the guys played so little games, and I think that might just be some frustration that's boiled over from missing out on the playoffs because I think it's ridiculous. I know you have the third pick, but that future is still so bright in Miami. You went 10-6. The improvement that we've seen there over the last 2 years. I know this is a draft video, but I just got to say, don't give up on Tua. But I was right, at least right now, about Justin Herbert. A lot of the things I wrote in my notes still stand. I had him as my quarterback number 2. I had him going to the Dolphins in my mock draft. So, again, things can change with that. It's still very early in that process. Got to be prepared for everything. But right now, I do pride myself with having Herbert ahead. Just some of the things I wrote. Good arm strength, good size and toughness. And one of the cons I wrote that I actually want to mention real quick, needs to be careful throwing into 2-on-1 matchups and at times lacks awareness in the pocket. Those are still issues with him, but I think he's gotten a lot better with just his poise and confidence in the pocket, the decision making, the like I said, confidence. Really are seeing some improvements in these things that I had down as cons for him. So he was definitely a guy that I feel my report was accurate on, and I look forward to watching his progress in year 2.
Yeah, Ryan, you talk about his arm strength. If you watch film on Justin Herbert, if you didn't notice his arm strength, then you were doing something wrong because virtually across the board, everyone had stuff on his arm strength. And something I wrote down in the cons is sometimes he can trust his arm a bit too much. Yeah. And I think when he stepped in this year for the Chargers, you kind of saw that. He made some dumb mistakes, some no rookie throws against the Chiefs. In the first game, he made a throw he shouldn't have had. And continuing on from there, he made one throw in each game where he kind of trusted his arm too much. And he did something maybe he should not have done. So that was definitely a problem that he had this year. Of course, that can be fixed. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. I mean, he has all the things you want in a quarterback. He's a big guy. He has huge arm strength. He can run the ball, too. He ran the ball a decent amount with the Chargers. He's not afraid to move out of the pocket.
And he can take those hits.
Absolutely.
He's tough enough.
He's very tough. That's something I wrote, too. My last note was pretty tough. So
yeah. Pretty tough.
Yeah, and to go through it a bit more quicker here. Jordan, this is an interesting one because this has been a joke between us this year. Talking about Jalen Johnson. Oh, okay. No, not Clyde. But I actually had a 3rd-round grade on him. I always said I had a 4th-round grade on him. Still too low. He's probably been one of the better rookies this year.
Yeah, he started out really good,
defensively. Yeah,
from what I remember. I mean,
he's had a lot of batted passes, but no interceptions yet. He got injured at the end.
He either got burned or made good plays. That's kind of what I saw from Jalen Johnson.
That's how it goes for rookie cornerbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're going to target you as well. I'm trying to find Utah in here, so hold on to find Jalen Johnson. But I like Jalen Johnson. There's Utah. If you watched our videos last year around draft time, you know that I'm a big Daniel Jeremiah guy. I like what he does. I think he's a phenomenal scout, and he was a big fan of Jalen Johnson. Had him highly ranked, and seeing that, maybe it was a bit of bias that made me like Jalen Johnson, but I did like Jalen Johnson. Let's see, there it is, Jalen Johnson. He's the first one on here. I didn't have many cons on him. I said he can get too caught up looking on deep balls, and sometimes does not turn head when something, I can't read what that says.
Can't read your own writing. Can't read your own writing. Unacceptable.
That's happened before.
But he definitely, all young guys, they don't turn their head, I think, at the cornerback position. It's just a thing, and you continue to learn that in the NFL. And even the veteran guys sometimes don't turn their head because if they're burned, you're taught not to turn your head. You have to try to sprint to keep up with them, or else you just can't make it there in time. So I like what I've seen from Jalen Johnson this year. Shout out to my Bears. Always got to do that Ryan, I see you got pulled up right now. Talk about Mr. Chase Claypool.
Yeah, I got him
will.
too here.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I know you were. Well, where did you have him graded?
I had him early second, so
Okay. Yeah.
he was probably going to be around 6 or 7 on my wide receiver rankings. He didn't make my top 5. I didn't go past that.
Yeah.
I should have, but he was a guy that I was high on, and I've talked about it for a long time. I said he'd probably be the number 1 receiver for the Steelers at the end of this year. I made a bold prediction, and that could be correct.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of flip-flopped with them. Like, there were the games you'd go off, and then the games you'd have, 2 catches. But I think
it's
overall,
really about the targets
probably,
with him.
yeah.
If you throw it up to him, I mean, he made a play in that Browns game in Week 17 where it's 4th down.
Yeah, that was
went
a
up
nice
and just
catch.
got it, so it's cool. So, I mean, just going through quickly, Jordan, did you find Chase in yours?
Yeah, I did find him, and I think a lot of things that I wrote are what we saw this year with the Steelers. In my pros category, I said he's good after the catch. He definitely is good after the catch. But these next few are really what we've seen from Chase Claypool. Big and not afraid of contact. We've seen that a lot.
My first note, takes on contact well.
Absolutely. Can be a deep threat. He caught so many deep balls. In fact, that his greatest ally in games was all those deep balls. That's kind of what the Steelers relied on some points with Chase Claypool. Nice on sideline, he is. And pretty good hands on contested catches. Again, we saw that a bunch of jump balls that he was able to come down with this year for the Steelers. So I feel like my analysis of Chase Claypool was good. I just didn't know he'd be the more versatile receiver he is right now. We all knew he was big. We all knew he was tough. We all know he can make contested catches. But how does that translate to the NFL? It's translated in a nice way for Chase Claypool.
Yeah, I basically have the same thing. The only thing is I had him graded as a late second-round prospect, so should have been a little higher there, but that's not, horribly bad.
No,
he ended up going early second. Probably should have gone a little higher. A lot of the same things you said, Jordan. Deep threat, good with the 50-50 balls. Not much to add on there. Just pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, next one for me. I got to talk about it. I'm surprised I didn't get to it yet, but Antoine Winfield was a guy that I was very right about. I'll just say that. He was someone that if you watch our videos from last year, I constantly was talking about him, and he's been probably a top 5 rookie this year.
Yeah.
And that means I was even too low on him. In my big board, I had him at 13, and a lot of people said he was the second best safety behind Xavier McKinney. He was a guy I thought was going to be very good, and I got a lot of things right about him. He's all over the field. He was in college. He was with the Buccaneers this year. He's still playing. Or played on Sunday at least. Yeah, Sunday night. At least I don't know.
I'm tempted to make a bold prediction, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and he's just been someone that has been glad for me to watch and be like, that was the guy I felt I was right about. Another one I got to mention, Tyler Johnson. I had as a second-round wide receiver.
Well,
so
he
doesn't
really see. He
doesn't see the field.
Well, no, I meant no. He does. He does a lot. But he just, the production, isn't there because there's some other guys ahead of him on the depth chart. But he might get his turn once they, get rid of some of those guys. Might leave him. I think he'll get his turn.
No, I think when he stepped in, he's done some good things for the team.
Maybe, right?
They've called him.
When put it into perspective, I had Brandon Ayuk as the same, 94%.
And when they called Tyler Johnson's number, he's done some good stuff this year.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump back to Antoine Winfield real quick just to get to Tyler. The knock on him was he was small, and something I wrote was he can be too aggressive on the run, but because he's too aggressive on the run, that makes him make good plays against the run sometimes, and he's a good blitzer. I think we've seen that a lot. Also, I wrote that he's a good open field tackler. I think we've seen that a lot with Antoine Winfield. Look, the knock on him was his size, but he had the most interceptions in college football last year, if my memory is correct. And so it was hard to be low on a guy that had all those interceptions, but because of his size, that kind of made him drop a bit in the draft. But he's done some great things. And Tyler, I applaud you for your number 13 overall.
Yeah,
well, I'm about to lower my ego in a second because I found a bad one.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so looking at Arkansas prospects, you go to Cameron Curl, who is with the Washington football team. I had him as a 7th-round pick. He's been one of the better rookies this year.
Yeah.
The name is not huge, but he's been good.
I don't know who that is.
One of the better safeties.
Phil?
And
I don't watch much Washington.
Well, I could see 3 weeks ago you don't know who he is, but now.
Yeah. And Harrison Bryan also just
I've
found
seen
here.
Sims.
I had him going in the 2nd round. He's been one of the better tight ends this year. So
Sim City. I think we should
I'm
call
just
it.
gonna keep
scrolling.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta
He's
bring
kind
it
of
up.
a diamond in the rough. That's not I have one
Yeah,
to get to in a second that
for
a lot of
sure.
people thought was a 1st-round pick. I had him as a 3rd-round pick.
And who was that?
Well, not right now.
Okay,
I'll say later. You can
okay.
go. You were gonna talk.
Yeah. I gotta bring it up because if you watched their draft videos last year and you've watched really any video this year that we're talking about the Chiefs, you know I love Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Here we go.
And in my cons section, there was nothing. I had no cons. Of course, there were cons on Clyde coming into this season. Look at all this. Look at all these pros.
It's just
It's just blank. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's blank. Right there, it's blank. You probably can't see it. Oh well, you can suck it up. But there definitely were some cons on him coming into the draft. Like his size is definitely a con. But I think so many things I wrote down on here and so many things I liked about him, are things that he's shown with the Chiefs. He doesn't get as many opportunities because they're a more pass-first offense. But when number 25 is called, he does some really good things for them. He's made some great plays. He's small, but he's physical, and he's got great hands too. He can block in the run game. This sounds like last year. I'm just going to throw him back to last year's draft, but just wanted to shout out to my guy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, I mean, you were the only one that had him mocked in the first round going to Kansas City. You got that pick right.
Yep.
I think it won you the mock draft contest here at the table, so that was an exciting moment for you. And he's fit well with that offense. I mean,
hopefully he comes back for the playoffs.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know by now if he played. I mean, again,
I'm playing this game.
really tempted to make a bold prediction, but I just don't want to.
No predictions.
You're one to talk.
Well, my predictions are usually good.
Yeah.
I'm winning our predictions thing currently for the touchdown table.
Yeah.
Way also. All right. Did you have someone you wanted to talk about?
Well, I want someone. Ryan, can you flip
you
to
someone.
Can you flip to Andrew Thomas for us?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Please.
We got. Let me see, I don't remember.
So Tyler, talk about what you want to do, and then.
My offensive linemen were actually here. I mean, I got to organize this better. And it doesn't flip well. All right, here you go.
There's people I'm looking at and I'm like, I can't believe they were rookies. Like it's just weird. Like you forget the name and then you hear the name.
Yeah.
And I forgot that I scouted him. Marquez Callaway being another one. I had him going in the 4th, and he has not been great this year. But that's just one I was like, wow. That I got pointed out too. But Andrew Thomas, I got ready too.
Yeah. So you wanted me to go to Andrew Thomas?
Yeah. Let's stick with Andrew Thomas and go to the quarterback that Andrew Thomas was blocking for after that.
Run a Jake?
After that. Andrew Thomas first.
I got to find Georgia here.
How can we evaluate Jake?
Got to find the Bulldog.
I mean, you really can't, but I just want to...
Oh, no, we can totally believe me.
I'll talk about him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was really high on Andrew Thomas. I had him as my number 1 tackle, and so did the New York Giants. I got that pick right. I feel like with him, from what I've heard, there's some up, some down. I mean...
Wasn't he like late to a meeting or something too?
Yeah, there was something like that. I mean, I feel like this is a guy, maybe he hasn't quite lived up to that 4th overall pick, that 4th overall pick potential yet, but I think that there's still some development that's left to be had. I still, think that the Giants, they shouldn't regret this pick. I think that he's definitely going to continue to develop. I mean, just looking at my scouting report from him, this was one of the earlier ones that I did. Played mostly left tackle for his college career, protecting his quarterback's blind side. Great run blocker, wins at the point of attack. Mobile for his size, yet can still be a physical player. That's probably, looking back on it, the reason why I did have him as my number 1 tackle, and probably why the Giants did too. But, yeah, I mean, some ups, some downs. Hasn't been quite as dominant in the NFL as he was in college, but that's how it is for a lot of players. I still have confidence in this young man. I think he'll have a fine career, and I think the Giants will not regret taking him number 4 overall when it's all said and done.
All right, we don't need to talk about Fromm because we haven't seen him in the NFL, but where did you have him? Just so everyone knows.
I had Jake Fromm as a 1st-round pick, and you can't make fun of me yet because he hasn't played. I liked a lot of what I saw, and once he sees the field, I'm sure this will be a
I think he's the 3rd string, isn't he?
Because he didn't play against the Dolphins. I was hoping he was. I was watching that game. But hey, you can't judge him until he gets on the field. So, you just have to...
And the thing with Jake Fromm is he was a different college quarterback than we're used to seeing at this point in college football because a lot of guys are more mobile. But with Jake Fromm, he was a pure pocket passer, and so maybe it's just different to evaluate a pure pocket passer right now,
especially today,
in college football because that's exactly right. Especially today, everyone seems to be using their legs at some point or another. Sticking with Georgia, I want to talk about someone that I was a bit too low on. Not that I thought he was a new batter or anything. That's Deandre Swift. I had a few running backs ahead of him. My guy DJ Daniel Jeremiah had him at number 1.
The sore thumb.
The sore thumb, as you said, he sticks out like a sore thumb. And I liked what Deandre Swift has done this year with the Lions. I think he was injured for some time, but when he stepped in, he was doing some really good things. Scored a lot of touchdowns, had some really good games, and I think he's going to be the future running back for them there up in Detroit. So just wanted to say that. I still don't regret where I ranked him that much because I love Clyde. Jonathan Taylor's done some good things, and so has J.K. Dobbins. That running back class is beautiful this year. They've done some great things. It's fun to see that. But Deandre Swift has had a great year along with all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of running backs are doing good. I had Jonathan Taylor as my number one running back. He really, finished the season extra strong with Indianapolis, kind of emerged as the true number one back.
Was my only good running back in fantasy football.
Yeah, and you had a lot of rookie running backs, I feel like.
I did.
You had Akers at one point, you had Zach Moss at one point, you had Clyde and JT there. Yeah. But yeah, I had Jonathan Taylor as my number one. I stand by that. He finally became the number one running back we knew he could be, and that's the running back he was at Wisconsin
for
thankful, pretty much.
Finally.
I'm thankful. Yeah, he's pretty much the same player he was at Wisconsin. Really,
I think he was tougher like this year. The way he was running, I just thought he was running stronger than he was at Wisconsin.
But that's
it's not unexpected.
To me, it was very reminiscent of what he was doing at
absolutely.
Wisconsin.
He's
I just
the guy
think against NFL competition,
especially as we got later on this
season.
He
really,
he
was kicking it.
It looked like he was playing against those college players.
Absolutely.
So,
big step up.
And they
for
played
Taylor.
the Texans twice later in the year, so that helped them a lot because our run defense is, not good.
Yeah, but
that happens.
All right, I'm done. So
I got some more here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've just moved away from my notebook. Now we're going to the.
Yeah, we got.
I've been talking too much.
We got Mo
way too much here, but I'm just gonna read off my running back rankings really quickly before I move on. I had Taylor, Edwards-Helaire, Swift, Dobbins, and Akers. So those are probably the top 5 running backs. Maybe switch up Dobbins and Swift, and then
3.
Akers or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I felt like that was pretty good. Now I'm moving on to my lower-ish profile guys, and I found Jeremy Chin, who I had a second round grade on him, and he's been the best safety this year. That's another one I'm just looking at right now. So another one I was wrong about. I'm just looking.
Yeah, well, I got a guy I was at least right now wrong about, or you want to keep going?
No, you're good.
Well, I was pretty wrong about Patrick Queen. I had him as let's see. I had him as a mid-third round grade, and I'm going to be honest, I just didn't see it on tape with him. I mean, I just wasn't impressed, but at the NFL level, he's improved a lot. He looks like a different player. I've seen him, I've heard his name more in NFL games than I did in college games, and maybe I just kind of missed him because he was surrounded by so much talent. But at least right now, this is a guy that looks like I missed on, because a lot of people were high on this guy, had first-round grades on him. I thought the Ravens reached on him, and I mean, he's definitely been making some plays. I remember way back in week 2 when they played the Texans, I heard his name several times. So yeah, this is a guy that I didn't really see it on tape in college, but either I was wrong or he really kicked it into another gear in the NFL, because he's making the Ravens looking good for taking him. And just props for him for proving me wrong. I had a mid-third round grade on him, and I even wrote here, not sure why he's being mocked in the first round, but hey, he played good, and he looked like a different player than he did in college, just a lot better. I couldn't really see this coming based on the college tape, so props to him.
Yeah, Tyler liked Patrick Queen.
This was sorry, Jordan. I know you're trying to give me my credit, but I'll give myself my credit. Here, Tyler did like Patrick Queen, as Jordan was saying.
There's not many times I'm going to compliment you.
Yeah, I know. Like the slightest thing he does wrong, and you're all over him. But this you actually
all right, here we go. So I had Patrick Queen as my 18th overall player on my big board. He was obviously. I mocked him in the first round. I had him as a first-round prospect. And this was an argument that Ryan and I had all the time. He led Kenneth Murray Moore, who has been all right this year, and the Chargers traded up to get him. He's still got a lot of potential, but he was just very low on Patrick Quinn. And to me, I just watched, especially as he got into those more important games, he really popped up on tape. But I found Jordan Brooks, too.
That's a funny one.
I had him going in the 3rd round.
I don't know if you've been watching this channel for a while, you might know this story. But like the last day before the draft, I was still watching film because I was a bit behind, and I decided to watch Jordan Brooks with Texas Tech, and Tyler was yelling at me because why are you watching Jordan Brooks? He's not going to go in the first round. Well, the Seattle Seahawks exist, so he did go.
No, he hasn't.
So that was just a quick jab at him.
Okay.
Just as we're talking about linebackers real quick, just wanted to say I'm excited to see what Kenneth Murray does in his second year.
Absolutely.
K9, he's like a dog flying around the field. So. Yeah, I think that defense is really going to take a step up.
Whoever their head coach is, maybe they have one by the time you're seeing this. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have a lot to work with.
Yeah, I just saw him on Ryan's sheet because, I threw my notebook away because I've been talking too much. And I'm still talking too much right now.
Yes, exactly.
Even though I had no sheet.
I found Lynn Bowden. He played for the Dolphins. Yeah, no, that's kind of a dynamic one.
Where did he play college?
Kentucky.
It's Kentucky, yes. And that was a cool one. And then A.J. Dillon I had is a 4th rounder, which we saw really one great game from him against the Titans.
Yeah, they're not really using their draft picks.
The
first round pick's not even dressing for games, and the next pick, well, he had the one good game.
I don't think A.J. Dillon's a bad player, but I don't think they needed him.
Yeah, you had Aaron Jones.
But that's the thing. Aaron Jones, soon enough, he might be off contract.
Well, I mean, we'll see what
actually, did they
there.
sign? No, I don't think they did. But anyway, so if they decide to let him go, if they haven't signed him, and I forgot if they did, then I guess that could be a good move for the future. One of my good friends' dad, who's in our fantasy football league with us, his strategy for running backs is draft a running back, let them be good for the 4 or 5 years they're there, then let them go and draft another one because they want to get paid a lot. We saw a lot of running backs get paid. We saw Dalvin Cook, we saw Zeke, we saw Alvin Kamara get paid this year. So that's just his strategy, and I kind of like it. So that could be what they're doing with A.J. Dillon. If they didn't sign Aaron Jones, which if they did, then what I said is true, but disregard that thing with the Packers.
Okay, we're getting into not first rounders anymore because I
that's
looked
okay.
at, I don't know, it was a lot. I have a number of how many prospects I looked at, but I don't remember what it was. I found Logan Wilson, who was the linebacker for the Bengals. I had a high grade on him. I haven't heard much about him this year, so that might have been one I was a bit wrong
Well, it's also
about,
the Bengals defense.
I don't know for sure. I think he got an interception, and then Alex Highsmith was one.
He's been doing
been really good, and I had him going in the early third round, and he was a guy that I watched, and I thought he should go earlier, but a mistake I've made commonly is I didn't want to throw guys that are projected to go in the third round into that first round area, and I didn't want to put guys like Antoine Winfield in my top 5, even though I feel like that's the case. So I'm gonna be aggressive this year going into it, and probably get some
full send.
I'm gonna get some things really wrong and some things really right.
Let's agree to that at the touchdown table. Full send. Say what you think. No holding back.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I'm sending it.
Gabriel Davis.
Full sending it.
Yeah. Gabriel Davis I had going in the 4th round. He's been a really good player here. Literally just going through as we're getting towards the end here. I've only just mentioned a couple of ones. Travis Gibson, who went to the Bears. Not very good. Let's see. I got so much.
Yeah.
So
much.
Antonio Gibson. Here we go.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
2nd rounder. So
yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, really, the rookie running backs.
And he was a guy that I was high on in fantasy too. Jordan knows
Did you guys
that.
see Darth Vader?
You
didn't see me? No one saw me.
I'm looking at my stuff here.
Yeah.
I'm actually proud of myself for that Antonio Gibson one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was it.
Did you really insane? I walked in from the camera and said...
I saw you walking, but I didn't fully...
In my Darth Vader voice, I said, full send.
James Robinson, who has been probably is one of those top 5 rookie running backs. So I should have mentioned earlier.
I don't think anyone saw that coming.
I didn't watch
he went undrafted, but I had him going in the 6th.
That's a little more right than where he was.
Yeah,
I mean...
And still, obviously, I could have done better, but he was not a guy I was that impressed with. He was the only one I looked at Illinois State. I knew he was in here somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm glad I found that one because that was an interesting one. Yeah, I'm almost done here. I'm just looking for interesting names.
All separate sheets of paper.
Yeah, because I had a smaller notebook.
Save the trees.
All right. Sorry, trees. I'm done.
I'm telling the Lorax.
So I think we're good. We didn't mention everyone, obviously.
Or
there's way too many.
The air guy's name?
Oh my god, I forgot his name.
What are you guys talking
about? I know
about?
exactly who you're talking about.
The bigger guy? What's the company called?
Is it O'Hare Air?
Yeah, it's O'Hare.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
We're going to talk about the Lorax?
Yeah.
We're talking about trees.
Okay. Oh, got it.
Once we get into the 25 plus range in videos, that's when we really go rogue. So So talk about the Lorax.
Yeah. All right. Well, as you can see, we all did a lot of our research. Jordan threw his he has his notebook back.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
So if you're ever watching our channel and
thanks, Darth.
And you're saying, do these guys even do the research? They're saying dumb things because we do occasionally say dumb things as we mentioned in this video.
We still will say dumb things after our
Hold
research.
up your stuff, everyone.
Yeah. Binder full.
We do our research.
The notebook is in there.
Yes, we do. I got more.
Don't look at these empty pages.
There's
no empty pages in the book. It's all full. See?
Yeah, mine's all full, really, actually. And all these are...
It would have been full if I gave myself more time.
So that's it.
I was slacking.
That was just us reevaluating our opinions,
Denzel Mims,
I guess, from last year. And it was fun to just go through that and look at it for the first time in a while.
By the way.
What did you have him?
Did he go to Baylor?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it.
If you don't know who he is, 49ers running back. He had to step in after some injuries.
He
was on my fantasy team as well. Who wasn't?
All right, there it was. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know we might not get as many views on this one. This was just kind of a fun one we wanted to do for ourselves. So thanks for watching. If you're still here, let us know.
Did you guys have a good time?
Absolutely.
Oh, I had a great time. I think you might have had too good of a time towards the end there, as you usually do with these videos.
Well, I mean,
every video, really.
Every time I can talk about O'Hare Air, I'm going to do it.
You got to seize that opportunity. I'm going to seize this opportunity to wrap this video up. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, comment your opinions about what we said down below. I'll let Jordan finish talking.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that O'Hare Air sponsors Jameis Winston.
Okay.
Because
Oh.
it's
Air
filled
with
with
air.
Yeah, I got it. And with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.